Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, the 17th day of September 2025. I hope you're all safe and healthy on this Wednesday, and that your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in health, along with first responders doing their best on a daily basis to save people's lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are helping those that are victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on all the profiteers and all of those perverts that create the demands that cause these evil industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and military veterans homeless in the streets of the United States of America. Millions around the world, similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon all, for theirs is the kingdom. So, finally, we have a complete training camp roster. The Knicks are allowed to have 21 players on their training camp roster. So we now know who those 21 players are, and it says a lot about what you can expect from the Knicks for this season. Obviously, they're not going to carry 21 players on their roster. They have already chosen, let's start with that, 3 two-way players. That means they've chosen 3 two-way players. There's no more two-way contracts. They have chosen Tosan, Evbuomwan, Kevin McCullar Jr., and Trey, Jemison III. Now, this is interesting. Tosan Evbuomwan is 24 years old. He's the youngest of these players. I think him and Kevin McCullar are the same age. And then Trey Jemison is about 26 or 27. It was interesting to me, these 3 two-ways, because number one, it says who's not on two-way. Dink Pate is not on two-way. Beauchamp's not on two-way. Watson is not on two-way. None of those guys are on two-ways. And then, of course, none of those guys are on two-way, put it that way. So now those guys are out. They're not going to be in a regular roster. They're not going to get the rookie contract. They're not going to be in a two-way deal. They're going to probably be, if you see them playing in orange and blue, Westchester Knicks. We'll talk more about that. But the interesting one of these was Tosan Evbuomwan to me, because he played at Princeton. He's young at 24, just coming into basketball, coming over. He's from Nigeria, but he came over from England. So I guess he was raised in the UK, but his family's from Nigeria, but he just learned basketball, I think at age 14 or 15. So he's really young in the game. And he came from Princeton. Why do I keep mentioning that? Princeton runs an offense that is originally from the late, great Pete Carril. And they've evolved it over time since Carril's passing. But it's still a Princeton offense. I think it's a strong possibility the Knicks are going to run the Princeton offense this year. And it's not that Tosan's going to play any major role in it, but he already knows it. So even in practice, he can be of assistance to help players know the nuances of it. So that's I think that was significant. So this also, to me, shows me that definitely Mike Brown's going 10 deep. He may use 11 or 12 players. It reminds me of back in the 80s when, the guy that's now coaching at St. John's was the head coach, and they ran a pressing defense and a kind of a Princeton offense, a pressing defense and a Princeton offense, and they used a lot of players. It was successful. That Knicks team was pretty good. But this is going to be very interesting. So the two-way players, it also says, listen, Tyler Kolek's getting traded. Let me just tell you that right now. The Knicks have pushed all their chips in the middle of the table. They are all in. There's only going to be one rookie on this team, on the regular roster. Well, maybe two. We'll talk about that too. Diawara is going to be the rookie. Now, Pacome Dadiet, this is questionable. Check this out. So, the Exhibit 9 contracts. This is Brogdon, Shamet, and Alex Len. Those are your Exhibit 9 contracts. Malcolm Brogdon, Landry Shamet, and Alex Len. They're looking for vet minimum deals. 1 year vet minimum deals. They're in training camp on non-guaranteed deals, but they're looking for the guaranteed 1 year deal. All of them. Now, of course, by now you should know, right? The Knicks only have one vet minimum contract available. So what's that mean? Well, Shamet's going to get that. Brogdon's going to also be on the team. In order to sign Shamet and Brogdon, as we've been saying for a while now, somebody got to get traded. That means, what does that mean? That means one of the guaranteed contracts has to be moved. Tyler Kolek is getting moved. He's getting moved. Now, the question is, who gets moved with him? And why do I say that? Well, why the heck did they invite and sign on an Exhibit 9 contract Alex Len? They signed Alex Len on an Exhibit 9 deal. So look, they have one vet minimum available today. So they could sign one of these guys without messing with their cap situation, okay? So they could sign one of these three and it's not going to change anything. But if they wanted to sign two others, Alex Len and Malcolm Brogdon, then they would have to trade two guys, player for player. So I'm already telling you right now, Tyler Kolek's going to be an ex-Knick soon. But who else? Well, there's only two other available. You're either talking about Dadiet or Ariel Hukporti. Alex Len is a center. He's a 5. So Hukporti is going to be in camp fighting for his roster spot. That's what we're dealing with. And Alex Len is an NBA player, which means he's above average basketball-wise, right? He's an NBA player. But among NBA players, he's not anything standing head and shoulders above anybody. He was drafted in the lottery, but he has never played like a guy drafted in the lottery. Never. He's always been, I think his best year was his third year, and I think it was in Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. But he's never been a guy you would think, oh, all-star or high-level player or anything like that. He's not. That's not him. That's not it. So he's a guy that can fill in for 5 to 10 minutes a game. That's Alex Len. He's 32 on top of all that. So, unless he took the Fountain of Youth pill and all of a sudden went to Hakeem Olajuwon's camp and became the second coming or something, he's just, a body that can come in for 5 to 10 minutes. That's it, okay? Which also says something to me. It means that Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be playing a lot of 5. It makes sense because part of the Princeton offense is 1 in, 4 out. In other words, they got wide open 4 guys on the perimeter and 1 guy on the low post. And then you got, of course, the opposite. And Karl-Anthony Towns can play from the high, where the 5 comes out to the high post. He can play both ways. Okay, that makes him more dangerous offensively. He must be in good shape because I think I wouldn't be surprised if Mitchell Robinson came off the bench. Because if you want to have an Alex Len, you're not going to play. I'm telling y'all, he's not playing a lot. So you're talking about 5 to 10 minutes a game for him at best. So you're going to have Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns splitting time at the 5. And Ariel Hukporti is playing for his roster spot. Or the Knicks are going to trade him with Kolek. Because Kolek's salary with him together makes about $4 million. That's a little short of what you would need. You need probably somewhere in the neighborhoods of 4.5 $4.6 million to sign 2 more vets, because that's what it counts against the cap, like 2.6 for 10-year vets, 2.4, something like that. So you need a little bit more cash. Now, there's many ways they could do this. They can trade those 2 guys and get back second-round picks with cash, which would be very important. And you know the Don, he's counting every penny. So that could happen. Or he just cuts they just cut Alex Len, and they just keep Ariel Hukporti. It could happen either way. So I guess when we're talking about the 5 spot right now and the offense, which is what we covered so far, we're talking about a Princeton offense, lots of movement, lots of off-ball movement, lots of body movement, which Brown did run in Sacramento. But he's not running the offense now. You got Gent and Ficchio, whatever his name is. You got them cats running the offense now. So Gent and Chris Gent, who used to play for the Knicks, Focchio and somebody else. They're going. Okay, hang on. Don't type nothing. Don't type nothing. I don't need to see it. Don't worry. Okay. Well, we know about Brendan O'Connor, but he's going to be defense. Chris Gent is the assistant coach and offensive coordinator. Ricardo Foy is going to be assistant coach. He was on the staff at Sacramento when they ran that Princeton-style offense. So you got Ricardo Foy, you have Chris Gent, okay, and then there was a TJ Saint, all of them. And then you got Brendan O'Connor and Mike Brown. They're going to be running the defense. Brendan O'Connor's official title is defensive coordinator. So him and Brown run the defense. And they're going to run these guys on the offense. So they run the Princeton offense. They're going to use probably 10 players. They're going to have a lot of movement, which means if you want a lot of movement, you probably want either Hart or Deuce in the starting lineup. I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't know if it's going to be Mitch Robb. And if Mitch Robb is coming off the bench as your 5, you're starting Karl-Anthony Towns. And if you're starting Karl-Anthony Towns, I'm going to tell you what, you don't need to play Karl-Anthony Towns 35 minutes a game. And I don't think they will. I think they're going to play him probably 30. Remember now, there's 48 minutes at each position. They'll probably play him between 25 and 30. And then the balance of that 48, 23 to 20, is going to go to Mitch Robb. And that's fine, because that'll preserve Mitch Robb. Okay, so that's what this training camp roster is telling me. So they're going to keep Brogdon and Shamet, unless Brogdon comes in out of shape and gets hurt, which we know he can do. They're going to keep both of them, and that means bye-bye Tyler Kolek. He's getting traded. So question is Ariel Hukporti going to still be on this team? That's what we're going to find out. Okay, that's what we're going to find out. Now, they could decide to keep 3 centers, which would be Mitch Robb, Hukporti, and Alex Len. They could decide to keep 3, but I don't think they're going to do that because Jemison is a 5. He's 6'11". He's a 5. And he's going to be on a 2-way deal. So you got Jemison, Trey Jemison the third. He's a 5. You would have either Len or Hukporti. They're 5s. And you would have, of course, Mitchell Robinson the 5. And then, of course, you got Towns, who is a 5 also. He plays 4 and 5. And you're going to see him playing both. But this is going to be very interesting. I don't think they're going to keep another center. So it's either going to be Len or Hukporti. We're going to find out. So that was important. So that's not. Exhibit 10 contracts. You got Mohamed Diawara, Garrison, Mathews, and Matt Ryan. Now, if you recall, Matt Ryan was with the Knicks last year in the G League. You know, first we got to see if he could run. Because last year, homie could shoot, but he can't run to get to any spot. Mathews can shoot also. They're very similar, but Mathews moves better. Mathews moves better to get to his spots. Both of them cats, G League. Okay? Both of them are going to be in the G League. And then they done already waived Warren and Payton. They waived them after signing the contract because both of them are going to be G League. So Dink Payton and the Warren kid, both of them are going to be G League. Okay? And then you're going to probably have Mathews and Ryan in the G League. Both of them. Okay? Then you have Mohamed Diawara, who's going to get the rookie contract. That there's one rookie contract available, and there's one rookie available to sign it. Diawara's going to get that deal. So then now you're gonna have a hellified squad. I mean, you can have a hellified squad. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, Deuce starts. If Deuce starts, and we can work them, because remember, the other day we went into who's the fifth starter, right? So if Deuce starts, Deuce and Brunson. Somebody said, well, that's too short. Again, a lot of Knicks fans go on their feelings and not on facts. Last year, Deuce and Brunson were on the court together 693 minutes. They were +6. Okay? When they're on the court together, they're +6. So no, there's no disadvantage. They're going to be good, especially if you're talking about two things. Point of attack defense, Deuce, and motion offense, Deuce and Brunson. Two quick little dudes that's going to be hard to stick with in a Princeton-style offense. So you have them two, with McCall at the 3, OG at the 4, and of course Karl-Anthony Towns at the 5. Offensively, this team's going to be almost unguardable. Really, they're going to be very difficult to guard. The thing is that just by simply having this motion offense, you don't know what they're going to do. The Princeton offense, and again, I keep calling it that, it's going to probably have some wrinkles to it, but the thing about it is there's no set play. The play is what's open. The play is what's the defense giving you. And even Tip said, take what the defense gives. Don't fight the game. Princeton offense is built for that. So they're not going to be trying to force Brunson down your throat. They're not going to be trying to force Karl-Anthony Towns. They're going to take what's there. And they're going to find out every play what's there. And they're going to exploit it. Ooh, it's going to be beautiful to watch. So that is going to be very difficult to guard with talents like Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, and let's don't sleep on OG or Mikal or Deuce. And they all can shoot. Okay? So the only question is defense. Well, you're going to have point of attack defense with Mikal, Deuce, and of course you're going to have OG also. And if my man Karl-Anthony Towns can show up a little bit on defense, that's going to be rough. Then your bench unit, your Mob D, Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, Jordan Clarkson. Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, Jordan Clarkson, Guerschon Yabusele. Okay? Guerschon Yabusele, Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, Jordan Clarkson. Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, Guerschon Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson. Who am I missing? Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Guerschon Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson. I think that's it. That's 4 right there. Now, if they wanted to get to a 5th guy, you still got Shamet. You still got Brogdon. Okay? If they wanted to go 5, complete 5 new guys coming in, you got Brogdon and Shamet. And let me tell you, both of them will play. Not at the same time necessarily. They're not going to get on the court at the same time, but during the course of a 48-minute game, you'll see them. Both of them are going to play. So that's hellified offense. That's hellified team right there. Especially when you bring in a Shamet or a Brogdon with a Jordan Clarkson. We got to see, because I was reading the Cleveland Cavaliers team dudes, and they was talking about how bad Clarkson has fallen off. He didn't seem like he fell off last year when the Knicks played Utah. So I don't know if that was just sour grapes, but we'll find out. And this is the good thing about this. He's on a minimum contract. If he has fallen off and they don't see it in training camp, they can easily, you could now, okay, sit him. Bring Shamet in. Bring Brogdon and Shamet in. No problem. Okay? So the Knicks got it covered. Coming and going. So right now, this is what it looks. Dink Pate's going to be G League. Warren's going to be G League. Probably Ryan and Mathews going to be G League. Why does Ryan and Mathews being G League matter? Because once you make the trade you got to make, and you go into the last part of the season after the All-Star break, you can bring one of them on a partial contract, 10-day contract. If somebody's hurt or if somebody's not working out, right? You could do that later, like they did last year with Matt Ryan. That's what they did. He was in the G League, and then they brought him in, and he played a couple of minutes, and then they took him out. Okay? That's what those guys are for. So this is something else. So you're going to see the 3 kids No, 3, but McCullar, Jemison, and Evbuomwan is going to be your two-way guys. Diawara is going to be your rookie on the guaranteed rookie deal. And then you're going to have Brogdon and Shamet on this team without Tyler Kolek. And we're going to find out what's going to happen with Alex Len and Ariel Hukporti. I don't know, but that's the deal. Alex Len is a 5. The only other 5 is Hukporti. So are they going to keep Len or are they going to keep Hukporti? Hukporti is only guaranteed. He's got a non-guaranteed deal for $1.9 million. That's his 1.9 million. Kolek has got a guaranteed deal for 2.1. Let's call it 2.2. So that's about 4.1 million. Now, let me just say one more thing. I hope it doesn't happen. I'm just saying this up front for y'all. The numbers work better if you send out Kolek with Dadiet. If you send out Kolek with Dadiet, now you have a full $5 million. You can sign 2 vets to the vet minimum, which is only going to count at 2.2 million, and they're going to get paid 3.5 or something like that. And then you still got some extra cash if you want to bring somebody on in the last part of the season, your Garrison, Mathews, or Matt Ryan. Okay, so you still got that. So that works better numbers wise. But we'll find out how this is going to do. But I'm going to tell you what. It's obvious. It's obvious the Knicks are all in right now. I'm glad that they keeping McCullar because he's one of the youngins, right? And he's going to be 25. But then you got Diawara. And I'm hoping, I really don't want them to trade Pacome Daddy at age 20. If they do, they better get at least 2 second-round picks for him because he's only 20 years old. He's 6'8". He's a wing. I see so much upside with him. So, and of course, another steal by the Don. They paid on a G League deal. So he's going to be training in the G League this whole year. And he's going to come up next summer. And there's going to be hell to pay. Meantime, the Knicks are going after this chip. They're all in. I'm excited. We should all be excited. They're all in. Y'all enjoy the Thursday. Here we go, man. We are about a week, maybe a week and a half from media day. Here we go, y'all. It's coming. So, yeah, enjoy whatever dead time is left if you can. I know it's been hell for me here without the Knicks from August till now, but here we at the end of it right here. So this is good. We're about to get into this training camp and get this thing done. Hopefully, nobody gets hurt. Everybody's in shape. Karl-Anthony Towns is any indication. I think we'll be ready. You all enjoy the rest of this day. So